You know what? I just found out that you're named after Marlene Dietrich.
I was. My father named us all after actresses.
Really?
Yes, there's 3 girls. I'm the oldest. I got named Marlene Dietrich. My middle sister got Yvette with an I. It's with an I, like Yvette Memu.
Oh.
Yes. And my baby sister, unfortunately, got named by me, who was 13 years old. And Leslie Ann Warren was doing Cinderella, and I literally picked up the TV guide, and I was like, Daddy, I got it. So she's a little pissed at that. She was like, really? I'm a big fan of Leslie Ann Warren. So I was like, hey, she was a fantastic actress. So yeah, but she just felt like, you have Marlene Dietrich and Yvette Memu, and I get Leslie Ann Warren. And I was like, so you're an American.
Okay. Well, and then you came into acting later.
Much later in life.
It's like, it's like,
When everyone said it was over for actors. I wanted to be an actor since I was 10. But I didn't get to it till my daughter was 10.
oh.
So, yeah. So that was a long time later. I was almost 30 when I started this. And
But
yeah.
but what impresses me is that you've covered everything. I mean, you've done stage, film, television, even
Radio,
the web.
web.
I didn't, yeah, the
I
web.
did radio plays, a couple radio plays in
Oh,
New
yeah.
York back in the day. Yeah.
And I love you in Ilse.
Thank you.
And I actually saw episodes of is it Caribe?
Caribe Road.
Okay. Yeah.
Caribe Road. Yeah. Hector finally put me in a suit. Well, so did Ruth.
Yeah.
Which is why I work with my friends on the web. I'm not serving coffee or something. Yeah, I love the idea of working with my friends on the web, and I think it's a great thing. I mean, I'm looking around and I see all these fantastic cameras, and I was just saying, when I was producing to get my career jump started, it was 60 millimeter shorts. People would throw away, oh, is this much film? I'll take it. So I love the technology and the wild west of it all.
Well, actually, what I wanted to say was that you're one of those actors that have played more positive roles than negatives.
I've been lucky.
So how did a Cubanita video store owner from
Ex-video
Nueva
store?
York
Actually,
pull
Union
that
City,
off?
New Jersey. I ended up in New York later. I've been in New York a few times throughout my lifespan. I got lucky. I also think, and let's talk race, I'm a white Latina. So I'm a very safe Latina for television. You talk to people like Lauren Velez and Judy Reyes, who are all friends of mine, and they find it a little harder, or they've broken through too. But so I think that I also attribute it to, I speak Spanish well. I still speak my language, and I tell all Latinos out there, please learn your language, because that really kind of. I started doing commercials immediately, and people may poo-poo it, but I was a single mom, so I had my health insurance and I have my, my pension plan, and
survival.
It's called survival.
Major survival.
So, and the Spanish really helped me do that. That got me into the Latin world. So, and now I can actually say that the last 7-8 years, because I have an amazing manager. I finally got a team that's working for me,
That's wonderful.
and I tell him, I have no problem playing drug dealers, messed up moms, weepy moms, playing the maid. I have no problem doing that, because those are based on reality.
Right.
If they're 3-dimensional, and I really try, if it's not on the page, I will definitely infuse it in there. But there's more to us, and I like to. It's my phrase is, we are part of the fabric of this country. We are not segregated into a little part of the quilt. We are actually segregated into the whole thing.
That's true. I mean, that's one of the things I love of doing SeFija, is because Latinos, we come in so many different shades and different little quirks and things like that, And then you have East Coast, West Coast, Southwest. So it's like.
Different perspectives, because this is the other thing. On my coast, nobody ever questioned that I was Cuban. But I come out here and they're like, you're kind of light to be a Cuban, aren't you? I'm like, are you kidding me? I was like, for real? And I was getting my nails done one day, and this Korean little woman, and she's like, what are you? And I said, Cuban. And she went, I swear to God, I was born there.
I suppose they don't remember Desi Arnaz.
No, well, it was a young lady, but I mean, it's just perspective and and perceptions are and I love to think that all of us artists, our idea is to break those perceptions, right? And scratch them, those myth busters. Let's break that thing.
It's so true because with me, it's like, well, why do you speak Spanish?
Yeah.
They were some slaves then.
Yeah. I'd love to speak 3 languages if I could.
Exactly.
I went to see Tosca the other day, and I was desperately trying to understand the Italian. I did 1 or 2 words here or there.
But it was beautiful to watch.
Yes, it was. It was.
So you've had a busy year.
I have had an amazing year.
I mean, you were the Secret Life of an American Teenager and the Haunted House, which I'll ask you about that, and of course Dallas.
Yes.
So how was it with working with Runnin Winds?
It was fantastic, even from the audition. I had worked with Damon on My Wife and Kids 15 years ago when I came out here, and I was like a fish out of water. I was way out of my league, literally. I had no experience, and I was just like bright-eyed and bushy-tails, and I didn't last very long as a result of it. I did 2 or 3 episodes. But comedy is something that I actually love to do, and I'm a big fan of them because they do what I believe all of us have to do, which is just create your own work. Right. So when this thing came around, and of course it's The Maid again, and now my managing team is being very careful not to always have me play the maid, right. But this was a little different. It was a lot of fun, and even in the audition, like when I went to audition, and there's Damon, and then he starts to play with you, and that's what I love about working with Marlon Family, right. the Wayne family, in general, is that they have a lot of fun, and it's because they're doing their own thing, and therefore we can break those stereotypes. We can go over it, right. And all that, a lot of that stuff, and
then really take those stereotypes and just really
well, take them over the top. Take them really over the top, and that's why. And the beauty is that you cannot go too far. You can't go too far. It's awesome. It's like complete freedom. You can be politically incorrect. You could be, you can curse. You can do whatever the hell you want. It's fantastic. I hope I'm in the sequel. I'm like, Rosa lives.
I mean, sometimes, we need a little of that. I mean, it's good to be political correct when you have to be, but sometimes you have to. Well,
everything is taken to an extreme, right? Now we're at a position where everyone is so afraid that actually it's like the reverse effect. It's like, well, we'll have this, and everything is now, everyone's going to have their own thing. And again, now we're categorizing ourselves and separating ourselves yet again. And I'm like, it's okay as long as you're allowed to have the conversation coming back at you, then it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. It has to be a two-way street.
Exactly.
Definitely. So, well, of course, we have to talk about Dallas. So how's with the iconic Dallas there?
It's been fun. It's been great. I've been really blessed to work with a lot of women showrunners, Secret Life and both Dallas. So, and that makes a huge difference. It just trickles down. It's not like we're a family and everyone's like touchy-touchy. Cynthia Cedar is an incredibly driven and, professional, and both of them are. So in that way, but it was just, it's such a pleasure because you walk in and you can feel a breath of fresh air, like that, just what I did. It's like, I do a lot of guest star work. I've made a living doing guest star work. So that means I am a guest in someone's house. And sometimes it's not much fun. Especially shows that have been going around, you can feel the tension. You're like, okay, I'm just going to hit my mark and leave. And I'm good. But it was very different. It's been very different. And I find that when it's a woman showrunner, it seems to be a little more inviting. Everyone's very connected, and that could be, good or bad, because if you're a guest star and you don't connect, but I just find that they actually are embracing. That's the word I wanted to. It's a little more embracing. It's also a little more open because we are women and are part of, you know, the whole
shebang.
You know, we've been discriminated against, whether you're a white woman, a black woman, Latina woman, you're a woman. You know, I like to say I'm a double minority.
There you go.
You know, I'm a woman and Latina and an immigrant, you know, so.
Same
Yeah,
here,
exactly.
Afro-Latina.
Yeah, but it's been, yeah, exactly. So that makes it, you know, that all those things I think add to the experience that you find on the set. And then also, you know, just even Carmen Ramos is my mother. Like, I found it very, you know, I tell people that I don't even want to read it. You know, Paolo sends me this script. Right. And in January, it was December. It was right around December when they were like, oh my God, Dallas is coming back. And I'm like, awesome. And they're like, something's in there for you. And I'm like, in Dallas? What the hell? I don't remember anything in Dallas being Latin. I know that there's a lot of Latinos in Texas, but they didn't realize that. So then I realized, I'm like, well, who is it? And he goes, he knows me. He's like, it's Patrick Duffy's cook. And I'm like, oh, the cook, not the maid?
She's like different.
Yeah, no, she has her own staff. And I'm like, okay. So it sat on my desktop basically until he got me the audition, which ended up being almost in April. Oh. They saw everybody for this. Oh. And then finally, he's like, you read it, right? And I was like, yeah. And I felt it was very easy. Like I tell Cynthia, it was just like, I was like, oh, I recognize this woman. And it was her sense of humor. And it was just her fearlessness as, you know, employer, like as real life is. If you look at the fact that Latina women have been raising and running white households for a long time. And when you do that, when you wipe someone's ass and feed them at the same time, you are fearless. What I found that Carmen was not this submissive servant. No. She ran the house. She runs the house. She had no problem telling JR, hey, you can't go in there. Yeah. You know? So those types of things just made me smile. And it wasn't like I have a lot of scenes. Yeah. It's just the details, right? Exactly, the dangers of the details. And towards the end of season 2, thank God. Yeah, I think
you were having some
something's going to happen. Yeah, I mean it's going to be the revenge of the Latinos. I hope we're going to take back this land. Oh my God, no.
So is this something that you can tell us anything about next season?
We have no idea what's going on.
No idea yet.
Seriously, and I'm not even sure that the main big players know what's going on because we didn't even know who. Look, you know, there's a plan. You have to have a 5-year plan when you're already submitted to the. But because everything was so tenuous with Larry, and because the reality is that I have an idea. I think it's open. It's open. I'm sure Cynthia has something up her sleeve. I always say she doesn't do anything by accident, but I'm excited about it.
Well, that's good to know. And then now is the project with Tyler Perry already done, ready to go to theaters?
It should be. No, I don't know if it's ready to go. It might be. I think it's in post already. Mm-hmm. I play the Cuban. What's this guy's name?
Sebring.
The daughter, the mom of the guy. God, I can't believe. No, the guy who won, who was on Dancing with the Stars, El Bonetillo Cubano. Oh my God, he's gonna. Oh, William Levy, coño. I play William Levy's mama in this, and it's fun. You know, I love working with Tyler. You know, I know that people. What I find is either you love him or you hate him. I have a lot of admiration for him. He's a little cheap. You know, I get that. You know, but having said that. He has an enormous amount of ideas and he has done so much for everybody, not only for the African American communities, for actors in general. He has employed more people of color than I can count. He has his own studio. He has three, he has 3, you know, TBS or TNT gives him, I think it's TBS, you know, 3-4 hours of programming. Look, when Latinos can say that, and not on Televisa, and not on Mundo Latino, none of that. I'm talking about the white world. I'm talking about the white corporate world that's advertising. Then I want my own Tyler Perry. And I know we have Jennifer Lopez, and we have Selma Hayek, and we have Robert Rodriguez, and they're trying. They have and Eva Longoria, yes. But until it starts to become as big, you know, hopefully Devious Maids will have that success. Until we have that crossover success, whether you're Asian, Latino, black, white, everyone knows who Tyler Perry is. Oh, yeah. Okay, I want that type of recognition for us. Okay. That's what I want. Then we say, okay, maybe we've arrived.
So, lady, you've been so busy. So what's next on the short term over the next few months?
Well, my husband's been trying to get me back on stage. So I think I'm going to do a couple of weekends in Florida. He's got a new play. We're going to do it in Spanish. Materias Oscuras, Dark Matters. I know at Prometeo down in Miami, which will be nice. And it'll be a 2-weekend thing. And I think that'll be hopefully just before I go back to Dallas.
Okay.
Dallas will start up probably September or October, something around there. We'll have probably a lot more after the 5th of July. And really just, I've been so busy and traveling so much for work that my husband and I just decided we were just going to do weekend things like getaways and
That's nice.
and see some family maybe and stuff like that. But and New York, my daughter just got her master's as a professional writer from USC.
Mom.
Thank you. And she landed a huge job with Condé Nast in New York, doing all the online, and they're launching Vanity Fair and Glamour. I mean, she's doing amazing, yeah. She's not even graduated yet. She still has to hand in her thesis, so I'm very proud of her. So I'll go see her, exactly. I'll see her sometime. I'll spend some time in New York, just chilling. I'm actually looking forward to just, I'd like to say I'm not going to travel as much, but unfortunately, none of my family lives here anymore, so I have to travel to go see them. I think it's been nice just to chill and see friends, and I saw friends over the weekend. It's just been.
That's wonderful.
It's okay to be all right, chilled.
So, a little fun question here.
Yes.
So, favorite fruit?
Mango. Yeah.
And real short reason.
Because it's sweet and warm, and you can suck on that pit, and you can get wet, and it's like a sexual experience to have a mango. Come on, whether you're alone or with somebody else.
That's a good one. On that note.
I'm Cuban. Come on, it's going to be coco or mango, and you got a lot more fun with a mango.
Oh my goodness. Muchas gracias,
Por nada,
Marlene.
un placer como siempre.
Thank you so much.